Carolyn Dube here. What am I up to today? Well, today I'm playing with one of my new stencils called Circles Layer Me. Now this is called Circles Layer Me because, well, it's a bunch of circles, and there are two patterns that can layer and work together. Now keep in mind you can be very precise with your patterns, or you can be very imprecise with your patterns, and that's what I'm doing today. I've taken a bunch of spray inks to a very large piece of paper, and I've been playing around creating patterns. Now when I say a large piece of paper, I mean a large piece of paper. Using just one stencil, I'm going to fill the whole page with pattern and variety and interest, and I'm going to show you how in this video. Well, here's the stencil called Circles Layer Me. Two sizes of circles there designed to work together, big piece of paper that I can play on, and a whole bunch of really old spray inks. These should almost be in a museum. These things I've had forever, so long that the bottles have clogged that I've actually transferred them into other empty bottles. Whenever I finish with a spray ink, if the sprayer's good, I save the bottle because it always saves me on something else when some other bottle clogs. In all fairness, those spray inks are from, again, probably 15 years ago, should be in a museum, but I'm bound and determined I'm going to use them up. And what that's going to cause me to do is be very generous with my spray ink. Notice you can see it all there puddling up. Well, what I'm going to do is clean off that excess puddling using some of my kids' old homework. And what this is cheap, thin copy paper, so it's going to get wet pretty easily, but it's going to transfer random bits of the pattern, which is, I'm all about random with this. So this is what the first one looks like. You can see how some of it ran together, it puddles in the center, and I'm just going to keep doing this all around on the page. When it fills up, I might flip the stencil over, or I might just keep mopping it up with homework papers, but I'm going to alternate the colors around, and my goal here is to fill this entire piece of paper with pattern and color. So I'm going to speed up the video here so that I could actually spray ink and add color as fast as I wish I could. Wish my hands moved this fast. But my goal here is to just keep spraying and playing. And things are going to run together. Colors are going to mix on my stencil. And that is absolutely what I'm after. Like I made a big old puddle there of purple, and I don't even have a purple. I've got pink and I've got blue, and they're going together to make purple. And that orange is kind of mixing with everything else and giving me, that is one ugly color I've just put down over there. But you know what? That's part of playing around. It will add a little depth and interest to it. And just by simply putting the stencil down in different places, I can fill a piece of paper any size using just one stencil. Everything doesn't have to line up perfectly, but if you really want to be specific and line things up, go ahead and do that. I'm going for the loose and free on this one. The paper that I'm using is a large piece of watercolor paper, but you can use anything. If you don't have large pieces of paper, all you need to do is put a little tape on the back and tape together some smaller pieces to create a larger surface. And then when it's all done, you just peel the tape off and you've got individual papers already made with lots and lots of random pattern. But after I've got the random part done, now it's time for me to use the layering stencils to do some of their magic. Oh my, wonder if you all will hear that thunder. It is storming here, something fierce. So what I'm doing is I'm actually picking where those little dots are going to go, and I'm making one big old puddle on top of that, aren't I? What I'm doing is using the layering to go on top. So I'm going to fit little circles inside the larger circles. Well, what I'm going to do now is pick a place where I want to put some of my little circles, the little dots, and right in there inside those purple ones. So the way I'm lining this up is I am just making sure that it's all white under them. If it's all white under there, I know I'm not hitting the edges of any of the purple, and I can shoot a little bit of orange in there to get dots inside the other ones. Beauty of doing this as sort of a random look is you don't have to worry if everything doesn't line up or match up perfectly. And I'm going to keep doing that all around on the page, adding little dots of color to the larger dots of color. And now I'm going to flip my paper around because I tend to reach for things in a certain area. So by flipping the paper around, that gets me to see it a little bit differently, and it gets me using the stencil in some areas that I might not have done. Hey, and by the way, if you're enjoying this video and you're not already a subscriber of mine over on YouTube, I'd love it if you hit that button to subscribe. That way you'll never miss when I have a new video out. And if you'd like to become one of my newsletter friends, if you aren't already, I'll have a link either down below in the video or maybe even one pops up on screen now that can take you over to find out more about my newsletter and the free downloadable goodies that go with it. So once I've got this all filled in, you're probably going to say, Carolyn, what are you going to do with this big piece of paper? And my answer is probably cut it up, but no guarantees. I'm just having fun with pattern and color. I'm loving these little dots all around the place. And of course, I'll be sharing whatever I do with it. Well, thanks for joining me for today's play, and thank you for being a part of this colorful journey.